The NNPC has announced a downward review of the ex-depot price of petrol from 113 naira 28 naira per litre to 108 naira per litre. Kenny Obateru, the Group General Manager of the NNPC Public Affairs Division, said the review is in line with the new pricing template that allows for an adjustment of petrol to reflect the situation in the global crude oil markets. The corporation, however, did not state the retail price of petrol. NNPC said the price would be reflected across all its product loading facilities as well as its throughput operations. On the 18th of March, the NNPC reviewed its PMX-X, Coastal X-Depot, and NNPC retail pump price. Joining me to discuss this is Peter Esele, former president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN. Good morning to you, sir. There was a little bit of confusion with whether or not this was the pump price that Nigerians are going to be paying. So I want to first ask you about the NNPC. Should they be making these announcements?
Good morning. First is that is not the price you're supposed to be paying at the pump. What NNPC have done is to tell you that that is the ex-depot price. When you add the various margins, storage margin, cost of distribution, haulage, cost of financing, then you now arrive at the current 125 naira. But with 108 naira, I think you should be going for about 120, 119 naira per liter.
All right, thank you so much. And go ahead.
NNPC is right to announce the ex-depot price, but NNPC is not within NNPC's purview to give us the new pump price. So that is the responsibility of Petroleum Pricing Regulatory Authority, Petroleum Pricing Product Regulatory Authority, otherwise known as PPPROA.
Okay, fantastic. Now, we haven't heard from them. I mean, the initial downward review from 145 to 125 was announced, and then I believe that was for March 18th, and then the 1st of April it was down to 123.50. So I think the full day has passed now since NNPC made their announcement. When do we, why have they been silent? When do we get this update from PPPRA?
It's also likely that PPPRA may want to have various behind-the-scene conversation with marketers. PPPRA won't take instruction from NNPC. So what PPPRA is going to do is look at all the marketers, look at the various parameters before coming up to announce the new prices. But 24 hours, I think we can still give them another 24 hours to see what they come up with. Okay. But I think the ex-depot price, once you announce the new price, ex-depot price is supposed to reflect in the pump price.
Fantastic. Now, I'm glad you've mentioned the marketers. I would like for you to speak towards maybe it's a demand-supply phenomenon and reaction, demand-supply and reaction from the marketers with respect to how quickly they respond to when the price is going up and how quickly they respond to when the price is going down, if you will. Okay, are you still with me, Mr. Esele?
Yes.
Yes, go right ahead.
One of the things you find out with the marketers is that, of course, when the prices go up, instantly it's reflected in the pump price. But when the prices come down, we are going to have marketers telling you that what they have is the old stock. So once they tell you they have the old stock, we don't know when the old stock is exhausted. And so what you always have is the marketers taking advantage of whatever situations that may come up. If the price is low, it will take them a while to go down. And if the price is higher, I will assure you within 5 hours, the prices will be reflected in the pump.
And of course, when they're talking about old stock, they're referring to what was bought prior at a different price, yes? Just for the understanding of our viewers.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I want to also talk to you about the deregulation of the downstream sector, which has been announced by the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mr. Mele Kyari. How do you see things with regards to the sector being deregulated and how the marketers operate in the system now? Is it fully deregulated from your view?
No, right now it's not fully deregulated. Because once you fully deregulate it, becomes all commerce market, which means that everybody that is licensed by the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Authority to bring in products can now bring a product. What you have now is almost 100% of all products in the country are brought in by NNPC. NNPC being an agency of the state. So at the moment, it's not deregulated. So when we start talking about deregulation, is when you have all marketers getting their product themselves. And if they start getting their product themselves, there are also headwinds that the marketers may also face, because what you are going to have is that you have to have the issues of Forex. You have to have, where are they going to get Forex from? Is CBN going to make dollars available, or are they going to go to the parallel market? So once you have been able to settle all of that, I think it becomes easier for the marketers to get into the market.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. But wouldn't that mean then, if we're not going to talk about the foreign exchange dynamic, wouldn't that mean then that the price which we would pay at the pump would go up if we consider what they would have to pay at the exchange rate to bring the refined fuel in?
I think this may also be an issue which the PPPROA always have to deal with, because when initially you have the marketers coming to tell PPPROA that they go out there to source their forex from the parallel market, which was what was responsible for all the issues we have during the Obasanjo-Jonathan years, Obasanjo-Yar'Adua Jonathan years, where you have subsidy fraud, and in the current administration we now have what is called, it's still the same, just different use of words. What you have now is under recovery over recovery. But until they are able to deal with that, that's only when you are going to have marketers come in and play in the market. But if the way it is now, when they are not sure where they're going to get Forex, I think that will be a huge challenge, and NNPC will continue to carry the burden.
Thank you for that. It's amazing how important Forex is to Nigeria. I want to also take you now to the refineries. Also, the group managing director, Mr. Melekere, did announce that there would be a hands-off the refineries from the NNPC once the rehabilitation is completed and private sector players can come in. How do you see things from that front with what we can look forward to with the refineries?
I think that is welcome. That's a welcome development. But hopefully, let's hope they can follow through. Because one of the major challenges we've had in this part of the world is the discipline to follow through what we are expected to do. If you talk about getting the private sector involved in refineries, I think it's coming 14 years late, because I know that various past presidents, when I was PENGASSAN president, the president before me, and the one before me, all signed on to having 51-49 for the refineries. 51-49, I mean, is that the private operator will have 51% of the shares, while the federal government will have 49. With 51%, the private operator will have control to run the refineries. And once you have that control to run the refineries, then you now have round pegs in round holes. Pardon my cliche. When you have round pegs in round holes, then you have the refinery run optimally. So that has been in the pipeline. But let's hope now that the current GMD will follow this through, and the government will also give him the necessary support. Because the GMD of NNPC can come up with wonderful policies, but once it doesn't have the support of the executive, then it's not going to happen. And if you have refineries running, one of the things I alluded to the fact of Forex. If Dangote refinery, for example, the 3 refineries of NNPC are also on. Now, just imagine the billions of dollars that we will save from Forex, because there will no longer be importation of petroleum products, and that will also be good for our foreign reserve.
Fantastic. Thank you for making that point. What I did want to ask, though, if they are rehabilitated and then foreign investors were to come in, well, wouldn't those, if you say you, for example, any one of our viewers is a private investor who wants to buy into one of those refineries, wouldn't they want to sell at the market price? That is when they've taken over and take over ownership and it's now working at full capacity. As in, would they not resist any price caps of any form?
Of course, if you're a private investor, the main reason why you do business is, first of all, you want to make profit. The main reason why you have government is to make sure that there is balance, the economy is balanced. You don't have maybe businesses don't make too much profit at the detriment of the citizens. So whoever is investing will find the balance. Another aspect that we are ignoring is that with our population, and the entire West Africa becomes the playground of the refineries. And also the refineries will not just be set up only to support the local economy, because Dangote refinery alone is bigger than 3 refineries of NNPC. So once you have all that, what Dangote and Co will be looking up to is to also get Forex for themselves. They have to get this product and also export this product so that they get Forex. So if you look at it both, I think both the investor and the Nigerian government will benefit at the end of the day.
Thank you for that, sir. I wanted to throw something in here. There's been a lot of talk about the federal government, wanting to raise revenues. Oil prices have fallen. The budget benchmark price for oil has been reviewed downwards now twice, $57 a barrel to $30 a barrel to now 20. Is what they're saying, projecting now is the next revision. Have you, at your time as president of PENGASSAN, did you ever look at a tax at the pump, the petroleum tax? So, for instance, for people who drive up and buy fuel, a tax being applied to that to perhaps support government revenues. What do you think about that?
Yes, it was brought up at that particular time, but you also have people resisting it. One of the reasons why people resist when government comes up with their policy is that all previous government policies, nothing happened. So it's wanting to tax the people, and it's another thing for the people to go to see how beneficial this tax is to the life. In Europe or America, you have they also have highway tax. So if you say you have highway tax and people see that their highway is properly maintained and everything is going well, it becomes easy for the people to pay. But now you're also going to look at the challenge that is staring us in the face, which is the headwind that is likely going to come up. If we don't have sufficient dollars, the only option available to government will be to devalue our currency. So if they devalue the currency, the expected benefit to the ordinary Nigerian of reduced pump price, you can't benefit from it because now the prices at which they are going to get a barrel of crude is going to be higher. And once that is higher, you are not going to enjoy the benefit. So even if the price is lower, so you will not enjoy the benefit because of Forex. If take, for example, if you fix at 125 Naira, and at the time you are fixing that 125 Naira, the price of the dollar to the Naira was 306. And now your next stock, you are getting at 360 Naira to the dollar. So invariably, the benefit of a lower crude oil prices will be wiped out by the difference in the price between Naira and the dollar.
All right. Comrade Peter Esele, thank you so much for joining us to talk about the oil sector and the reduction in price, ex-depot price, that is, of the NNPC. We appreciate your insight, sir. Thank you so much.